Episode 4. I swear, if I hadn't seen all this with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it was him. Everyone here thought he died years ago. Listen, Komori. Do me a favor and don't tell Mila about me and all this, alright? She doesn't need this sort of drama. Why? Well, let's just say some folk ain't good for one another. I could teleport everywhere, but I am actually enjoying walking around as a new character. Even though I've been here plenty of times before, there's something novel about it. If you haven't caught on, this isn't going to be a very fast playthrough either. Another reason to click off if you've managed to stay on. I've already heard of your exploits at the quicksand, Komori. You did well to send those marauders packing. I wish I could say we've heard the last of them. Alas, we've received reports of axe-wielding raiders assaulting merchants, traveling through Scorpion Crossing. It seems words will not suffice after all. I want you to finish what you've begun, Komori. Head to Western Thanalan and see that Farmul the Driven and all those who have shared in his crimes never trouble the people of Ul'dah again. Quite a bit more to this quest than I thought. They tore me from my saddle and took everything I own. Bring my goods back to me, I beg of you. Interacting. You can interact with Sparkles. Fates are public events. That might be a decent way to level up. I don't actually know if that's worth it at such a low level. We can at least test it out. 700 experience is decent, but not farmable. Ah, are we not allowed? I'm not sure if that means we've killed Farmul or just incapacitated him. They tore me from my saddle and took everything I own. Bring me my goods back, I beg of you. 12 bless you, adventurer. If it weren't for good women like you, I'd never leave home. And that's it for Mila's quest. Now that we're level 10. Oh. Are we unable to teleport? When do we unlock teleport? That might actually be tied to the main quest. I can't imagine it not being. Good, it is finished. And with that, this stage of your training is complete. This time your enemies were ill-behaved ruffians, but who knows what manner of opponents you will face in the future. Regardless, I have faith that you will do well. Master your sword, and you shall master yourself. Now then, there will be work for you in the days to come. Return to your training, Komori. We will speak again. We'll go ahead and get the tank gear from this quest, even if we're collecting the mage gear from other quests. And we're all ready for the level 10 quest. You look well, Komori. I hope you are ready for your next task, because I require your immediate assistance. There have been several violent murders recently, the victims of which were all Huron men. Based on the multiple spear wounds found upon the bodies of the deceased, we believe that Lancers were responsible for the crimes. Not only are these murders a blight upon our city, I fear it is only a matter of time before one of our own is targeted. I have just received reports of foreign lancers skulking about in Stone's Throw. Considering the circumstances, I find it likely that these are our culprits. We cannot abide any more murders. Go to Stone's Throw outside the Gate of Nald, and speak with any you find in the area. With luck, we may find these lancers before they strike again. What is going on over here? A sparring match gone wrong? I think Komori probably hates the idea of using a shield, which is why the gladiator lifestyle is a bad fit for her. Don't kill me, please. I'm not the one you want. Is this not the next? Oh. Thank you, thank you. They appeared out of nowhere, asked me if I was Aldous at Spear Point. I said no, but they attacked me anyway. What did I do to deserve this? Let's reassign those. This is the wrong guild. I've gone so used to walking, I've already forgotten how to teleport. So they were indeed the murderers we thought we sought. what brought Duskwhite freelancers all the way from the Black Shroud? And why were they murdering Kieran men with swords? First sword. What is it? Lancer's first sword. A gang of them, hiding in the tunnel south of Blackbush Station. It seems we're not rid of them yet. Komori, you might as well finish what you started. Go to Central Thanalan and dispatch the last of these freelancers. Bruce, accompany Komori. See that she doesn't die. Well, I can't keep the last from getting skewered, but I'll patch her up the best I can. Komori, defend Bruce. He knows powerful healing magics, but he cannot employ them unless you keep all your enemies occupied. Make sure you command their full attention at all times. Aye, I'm counting on you to keep those bastards away from me. Watch me back and I'll watch yours. You have your orders, gladiators. Send these freelancers to the 7th gate. This, of course, is a tutorial for gaining enmity to make sure your enemies aren't attacking your allies. Just because it's an NPC, I don't think we'll be very kind to him and turn on or keep our enmity accumulator turned off. This Iron Will. The only reason I'm doing that is just because I feel like Komori wouldn't really care about protecting her ally. If I were in a dungeon with other players, I would of course turn it on. But we'll see how well he can survive without my help. Again, forgetting how to teleport here. Seems no one's home. What say we wait here and ambush them when they return? Our first instance of an instance, or I believe it's called a scenario or some other term. A duty, that's right. How could I forget? Even now, without turning on our Iron Will, we've already gathered all of their enmity. I suppose you'll pass this quest as long as you attack the enemies before they kill Bruce. I guess I can only use Shield Bash if I have a shield. If he knows healing magic, shouldn't he be able to heal himself? Huh, bastard's actually making me break a sweat. Ah. Well then, I guess this happened because I led the enemy towards Bruce rather than away. I guess that's why they always teach you to tank the enemy facing away from the rest of the party. As much as this is useful for teaching a new player the basics of tanking, I'm surprised that they're a little bit stringent on the timing of getting the enemy's aggro. Bruce's health seems to drain quite quickly. I will say I do like that they expect you to position the enemy's attacks away from the party. Any new tanks you party up with tend to forget that fact. Looks like we're done here. Let's head home, Komori. I could use a drink. And I offer you my apologies, Bruce, for your death in another timeline. Oh, we can't quite return with the teleport spell yet. I think we'll wait on finishing up these main quests and completed side quests so we can get that experience on our second class. I'm used to music playing while wandering the fields of Final Fantasy XIV. It's actually quite comforting how quiet it is. Well, I like the music too. Both are good. I'm right there with you. If there was something going on down there, I wouldn't be able to see it all. I imagine Komori was never good at being a gladiator down in the pits. So right around now she's wondering about any other prospects she can find around Ul'dah other than waving a sword around. Congratulations on a job well done, Komori. Bruce says you acquitted yourself well. You have shown tremendous growth since you joined us, and though it pains me to do this, you have earned the right. Komori, I grant you leave to join other guilds. As you doubtless know, Ul'dah is home to both the Pugilist Guild and the Thaumaturgist Guild. However, there are also guilds where you may learn something of more peaceful traditions. You may even join the guilds of other nations if that is your desire. Know that I will respect your decisions, whatever they may be. So long as you do not forget that you are, above all, a gladiator. Before you head off, I wanted to ask you. Bruce believes the freelancers were out for a bounty. What is your opinion of this, Komori? We'll tell her. They were tracking a man named Aldous. Aldous? Are you certain that is the name you heard? He's alive, but how? Dialogue options don't particularly matter in Final Fantasy XIV. We were told not to mention that name to her, but I don't think Komori remembered. The armory lets you change classes after you've unlocked them. Let's put low blow. Where was it? Here? No. Here. Upon Milo's insistence, I think Komori has decided she's giving up on the gladiator lifestyle, at least for now. She did mention the other classes that you can pick up, the crafting and gathering classes. That's not something I'm going to do in this series, just because I would go insane from the slow leveling involved in those. What I will pick up is the Thaumaturge. Welcome to the Thaumaturgist Guild. It is fate that has guided your steps here, friend. Within these hollowed halls, the arts of devastation are taught, primeval magics with which to bring about an enemy's ruin. If you would join our ranks and wield the power of thaumaturgy, I urge you to seize this moment and confide in me your arcane ambitions. I think that Komori has decided that using magic might give her an edge in the gladiator battles, even if they're not strictly allowed. Perhaps she can find a way to use these to cheat, so she'll join the Thaumaturgist Guild and experiment around with her ability in magic. Yes, there truly was no other answer, was there? Lean closer now, and I shall whisper to you of thaumaturgy's beginnings. The nation of Ul'dah inherited its traditions from the ancient Belladia, a city founded by the descendants of the first mages. The secrets of these illustrious sorcerers were ultimately entrusted to the priests of the Order of Nal Thal, who have passed them down from generation to generation ever since. Focused and refined over use in the Order's funeral rites, funereal rites, the arcane magics of our ancestors eventually emerged as the art we now know as thaumaturgy. A freezing blizzard to halt corruption, a raging fire to cleanse the corpse, a bolt of lightning to expel the sins of mortal life. The drummers employed in the preparation of the dead are equally efficacious when applied to the living. Thus does our guild thrive in the deaths of Arsenis Ossuary, a sanctuary devoted to Thal, the divine arbiter of the afterlife. What say you, adventurer? If you would plumb the abyssal depths of thaumaturgy, let our learned sages guide your descent. But before you leap into the darkness, you must prove to our guild masters that you are possessed of the spiritual fortitude necessary to look upon that which waits therein. When you are ready to submit to the judgment of our most eminent mages, say the word. Yes, I think Komori hears the siren song of fire and ice and lightning, and decides that's a good fit for her. Well, adventurer, will you join our guild, or do you presume to ignore the urges of impatient destiny? A wise decision indeed. To prepare you for your initiation, I would have you study the volumes of fundamental thaumaturgical principle, all 108 of them. Or at least I would, if such requirements had not been abolished. Too great a deterrent for fresh novices, they said. I suppose you shall just have to settle for calling upon the collective wisdom of our guildmasters. We have 5, you see, all brothers of the same house. Though they all wield supreme authority, it is the eldest who provides a singular voice for the guild when one is required. Master Kokobigo, I believe. It's all well and good that Komori doesn't have to read anything. I think it's a personal opinion that she has that books are not to be trusted. What on earth? We gather here in the Great Thal's Hall of Worship to study the mysteries of thaumaturgy. I ask that you maintain a modicum of quietude, Oh no, not for us. We couldn't care less about how loud you are. It's Priestess Mamane, you see. She's very strict about excessive noise. Yes, cast without constraint, my courageous colleagues. Draw on drummers of dire and deadly destruction. Wahahaha. Judge me by my stature, do you? You'll not be so dismissive once I ensorcel you with somnolence and scrawl obscenities upon your face with demon blood ink. Huh. Stature? You're taller than me. So you wish to peer into the abyss of thaumaturgy? I guess we'll talk to you later. Who? What? Oh, Thal's teeth, miss. Did your mother never tell you not to startle a thaumaturge? Look at that expectant face, Kokobikyo. This lady is obviously a new applicant for the guild seeking audience with our eldest brother. Oh, Prelate Yayake. She can recite the 307 verses of the funerary rites of the virtuous fallen, but the simple task of keeping our names straight seems ever beyond her grasp. Wahahaha. Well, I, for one, find the constant confusion endlessly entertaining. My apologies, my dear. My merriment was not meant to mock your mistake. It is our sibling Kokobuki with whom you should speak. What's this? Thal has led us a new aspirant. Ah, Kokobuki, were you here the entire time? Greetings, child. I am Kokobuki, the eldest, and, I would venture to say, the wisest of the 5 masters of the Thaumaturges Guild. It is my solemn duty to furnish our would-be initiates with a succinct understanding of our beloved art. Thus I would have your fullest attention. To wield thaumaturgy is to unleash devastation of the highest magnitude. The lethal force of our spells far exceeds the destructive capability of any other form of arcane manipulation. Fire, lightning, blizzards, somnolence. The thaumaturge calls upon an expansive arsenal of offensive incantations. to incapacitate and obliterate all manner of adversaries. Open your mind to our sorceress teachings, and you too shall soon hold the unparalleled power of our discipline in the palm of your hand. Of course, such power has a price. You must be willing to plunge headfirst into the forbidding chasm of thaumaturgy's secrets. For advancement in this art comes only with the completion of deadly and terrible trials. I ask you now, aspirant, are you prepared to leap into the abyss in pursuit of power unrivaled? Komori believes she's built different, so her answer is yes. A confident response. Your name, if you will? Very well, Komori. Let us mark your initiation with 3 eminently practical gifts. My first gift to you shall be an addition to your hunting log. The names of such enemies that will prove suitable to your training as a thaumaturge. The second and third gifts are this scepter and shield, instruments you shall need to focus the destructive force of your will. Did you believe your initiation over? My dear disciple, we have only just begun. Take your new weapons in hand, and I will set you forth upon your first trial. I think that Komori came to thaumaturgy to get away from the melee aspect of wielding a sword and shield, the latter of which she has sworn off of. With that in mind, I think I'll play around with keeping only the scepter in hand. Later on, the Black Mage class, which advances from this thaumaturge class, completely does away with the shield. It's kind of a relic of the game design. I suppose there's no harm in keeping the shield around, but I think just for the sake of fashion, we'll go around without it. I don't know what this armory bonus is, actually. I see. If there's a discrepancy between your levels, you get a bonus. I never actually knew that. And you can change classes depending on what you have equipped, as I've just done. Did we get any more equipment? Don't like the way that ring looks. It's not like we can see it very clearly, though. We should at least make some gear sets, though. Alright, now that we finally unlocked this, before we take on the next quest, I think now would be a good time to take a break.